Welcome back to my channel. If a woman doesn't want you, she's going to show it. It just won't always be in way you expect. A lot of men miss signs net because they're clueless, but because they don't want to believe what's right in front of them. The truth is, when someone's not interested, they didn't always come out and say it directly. Most of the time, it's in the small things. The way she texts, how she'd oxto you, or the energy she'll give us off when you're around. Welcome to Man Off Subs. If you've ever felt like you're chasing a woman who's slipping further away, or you've been confused by mixed signals, this one's for you. We're going to talk about what it actually looks like when a woman just isn't feeling it anymore. Or maybe never was. This isn't about bashing women or playing games. It's about clarity. Because when a woman doesn't want you, she usually won't tell you straight up, but her actions will. And once you learn to read those signals without second-guessing yourself, it saves you time, energy, and frustration. You stopped trying to force something that was never going to work. And instead, you keep your self-respect intact. We're not talking about moments where she's just boozy or distracted. This is about consist patterns. Things she does that silently say, I'm not into you like that. Once you learn to recognize these signs, you'll stop chasing what's not meant for you. And you'll start investing your time where right actually matters. So, in this video, I'm breaking down 5 clear signs that a woman doesn't want you. These aren't vague ideas. There are patterns of behavior that you'll start noticing once you know what to look for. Let's get into it. She keeps you around but doesn't choose you. 1. She keeps you around but doesn't choose you. There's a big difference. A woman liking your company and actually wanting to be with you. A lot of men get stuck in this middle zone where they're present in our life, but never really invited in. You text often, maybe even hang out sometimes. But there's no forward motion. Nothing progresses. You stay in the same spot while she keeps you close enough. Not to you, but far enough not to commit. What usually happens is you start convincing that you're just taking things low, or that she's no for some of things serious. But deep down, you can feel something's. You show interest, you stay available, you try to be consistent, and in return, she gives you crumbs. A dry text here, Anthea, maybe a quick call, maybe even a late night hey once in a while, but it's never solid, it's never clear. And that's the point. This is the kind of situation where you're emotionally invested, but she's emotionally casual. You're thinking about how to move things forward while she's thinking about how to keep things where they are without aiming to fully let you go. It's not that she's playing some evil game. It's just suits so. She doesn't feel strongly on about to commit, but shadows want a closet door either. Why? Because having you around gives her attention, validation, and a safety net. It costs her nothing, gives her just a no. Picture this. You've been texting her every day for a few weeks. You've asked her to hang out a few times. She says she's busy, but never offers another day. Then one Friday night, she calls you out off nowhere because her plans fell through. You spend the night talking, maybe even hanging out. The next day, silence game. That's not a relationship wielding. It's emotional convenience. And the longer you stay in that space, the harder it is to walk away. You start thinking that maybe one day she'll come around, but people didn't come around when they already know what they feel. If she wanted to move forward with you, she would. If she saw you as someone she genuinely wanted, ya wouldn't have to keep trying to prove herself. Ja wouldn't be sitting in this blurry zone wondering where you stand. If you find yourself being kept around without real progress, no commitment, no intimacy, no clear interest, it's not an accident, it's a choice. She may not be saying it out loud, but message is clear. You're not the one she's choosing. She's just not ready to let you go completely. Her energy drops moment you show interest. 2. Her energy drops the moment you show interest. One of the clearest signs that a woman doesn't want you is how quickly your vibe changes when you start showing real interest. In the beginning, she might be playful, curious, and even flirty. She replies fast, throws in emojis, starts conversations, and then out off no hair, her energy drops. What changed? You started making your intentions now. Some men think this sudden shift means they did something wrong. Maybe they texted too much. Maybe they complimented her too early, but most of the time, the issue isn't how you said it. It's that she was never thought into you to begin with. Do you like it at the tension? The back and forth sefton of the early interaction, but the things became real. Her interest is upper. This happens a lot when a woman enjoys being admired, but doesn't actually want anything deeper with you. So when you finally express interest either by making a move, asking her out, or even just showing consistency, Heron orgy takes a div. Replies get slower. Her tone gets colder. She stops putting in effort. It's confusing because it feels like she led you on and maybe shed it. But more often than not, she was just entertaining the attention without thinking too far ahead. She wasn't planning to take it anywhere. And the moment it got serious, it became uncomfortable for her, not because you did anything wrong but because she didn't want it to go there. You'll not ask this pattern if you put tension. A woman woes into you won't get weird when you show interest. She won't pull back when you open up a little. Okay, in fact she'll usually mature energy or even desires bout if her interest was surface level. Your fort makes her realize, I don't want this guy to think I'm serious. So she starts backing away. The mistake a low-tech guys make here is doubling down. They think she was into me before, so maybe I just need to remind her. Sophie, start training harder. Longer texts, more compliments, more invites, but it doesn't fix anything. It just makes the up more obvious. When her energy drops after you show interest, take that for what it is. It's a signal that she wasly halfway in, and now that it's real, she's out, and that's okay. You don't need to fight for someone who texted to meet you halfway. Leather, pull back and don't chase. She makes you work for bare minimum attention. 3. She makes you work for bare minimum attention. When a woman likes you, attention isn't something ya have to earn. It flows naturally. You didn't need to keep roving yourself, just get a reply, a smile, or a simple conversation. But 1. She doesn't really want you. Ismalist, bit of attention feels like airword you have to chase. And that's a par. You're the one starting every conversation. You're always the anking questions, keeping the chat going, trying to make plans. And what do you expect in return? One-word answers, delayed replies, maybe a few dry laughs or emojis if you're a lucky, but never are a genuine back and forth. It's not that she's too busy. People make time for who they actually care about. If she wanted to talk to you, you wouldn't be stuck trying to drag energy out of her. She wouldn't beck instantly distracted, always saying maybe when you ask her to hang out or acting like replying to a message is awkward. You wouldn't be guessing whether or not she even wants to hear from you. You'd know because her actions would make it obvious. What's really going on her is simple. She's not that interested, but she's not cutting things off either. So, she throws out just now attention to keep you around, but not enough to build anything real. And because you want it to work, you start doing more. You tell yourself she's just not great at texting, or she's probably just busy, or she'll come around, but deep down, you feel the imbalanced dynamic drains your energy. You put in effort, get nothing, reel back and then start questioning yourself. You think maybe you're doing something wrong when the truth is she's just not meeting you where you are. And here's the part that matters. Attention should never feel like something you have to earn. From Simeon, who claims to be interested, respect, effort, and consistency should come naturally when someone values you. If you have to chase scraps, it's not because she's hard to get, it's because not trying to give. Easy target caught up in the idea of winning her, but this isn't a prize to win. If ya have to work hard just to get basic communication or common courtesy, shisknit in it. And it's not your job to convince her. You're not supposed to beg for connection. You're supposed to meet who wants it just as much as you do and shows it, without making you feel like you are bothering them. She's hot and cold and it's not by accident. For she shot and cold and it's not by accident. One day she's texting you like crazy, laughing at everything you say and buying supper responsive. Then next day she's cold, distant, barilla please, or disappears altogether. Then just as you start to back off, she comes back again, acting like everything's normal. This back and forth doesn't just confuse you, it keeps ya stuck. And that's the point. When a woman reeled you, her behavior is steady. Who wouldn't have to guess how she feels, but when she's unsure, uninterested, or just keeping you around for her own reasons, her behavior bems inconsistent. That hot and cold pattern isn't random. It's how she keeps control of the situation without having to fully commit. The hot days make you think there's still hope. You tell yourself she wouldn't be acting like this if she didn't care. But then the cold days hit, and you're restic trying to figure out what changed. So what do? You try harder. You text more. You make excuses for her behavior. Best, you're focused on the moments when she showed interest. The thing is, if someone's feelings are real, they didn't turn on and off like ask. They stay consistent. They might have 5 a days. Everyone does. But they won't treat you like a favorite own day, and a stranger the next. That pattern is intentional confusion. It's emotional control. Being hot and cold keeps you invested. It keeps ya wondering what to did wrong, what you can fix, or how to get back to thoughts good days. And while you're focused on thought, she never has to fully show up. She gets attention without giving, she gets effort from ya without putting anything ri. This is especially common when a woman likes the idea of your interiorist, marathon. She likes the idea of factual libing with you. She enjoys the validation, the comfort, or the emotional boost, but when it starts to feel real, she pulls away. Then, when you start to move in, she comes back, just in out to keep you from leaving. That kind of push-pull interaction drains you. It keeps your mind spinning and your confidence low. You start tying your mode to whether or not she responds, instead of asking why or avenging someone who isn't meeting yo halfway. Real interestoist play games. Doesn't come and go. She's shot and cold. It's not because she is confused. It's because she's not. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you stop giving energy to and you hope can't offer anything valid and retort. You're always the backup plan, never the first choice. 5. You're always the backup plan, never the first choice. One of the hardest pills to swallow is realizing, not her priority. You're just her fallback. You're not the guy she clears her schedule for. You're the one she texts when she's bored, lonely, or when her other plans fall through. You're no time, the front of her mind. You're somewhere, in the background, always available, but never truly chosen. A woman who really wants you will make space for you. She'll show interest, make plans, and treat your time like it matters. But when she doesn't see you way, she won't go out of her way for you. She won't still keep you around, though. Why? Because it's convenient, cause she knows wheel size when she needs something. Whether it's attention, support, or somion tofel, the gap between thepipol she's sexually chasing. Hair show it usually plays out. You ask her to hang out on a Saturday. She says she's not sure yet, might have plans. Saturday comes and goes, no word. Then suddenly late Sunday night, she texts, hey what are you up to? That's not someone who values your time. That's someone how and throw her options. And when Nanya Fem worked out circled back to you, and if you're always available in that situation, it becomes a pattern. Ya keeps showing up thinking Mabe next time will be different. Maybe she finalists see your value. But people do nightly wake up and appreciate wave always taken for granted. If Chatrally saw you as a first choice, ya wouldn't be waiting around for her leftovers. You'd already be part of her plans. This doesn't mean she's being gently cruel. Sometimes people didn't even realize. They're triatherized like a safety net, but regardless of their is on, the outcome's the same. You're giving more than you're getting. She's not meeting you halfway. Bang a backup slowly chips away at your confidence. It makes you question your worth because deep down you feel you're overlooked, but you keep hoping for a moment when that changes. That keeps you stuck in place. Paranoia only shows up when she has nothing better going on. That's no interest, that's convenience. And if you're honest with yourself, you've probably already know the difference. You deserve to be Sumion's clear decision. It's not their last-minute option. If she only reaches out when it's suture, she never initiates plans or prioritizes your time. It's time to stop in, she come around. You're not mean to play that role in your own life. Why men miss these signs until it's too late. 6. Why men miss these signs until it's too late. Most men don't miss the signs because they're blind. They miss them because they don't want to believe what those signs actually mean. When a woman's actions are telling you she's not really into it, it's easy to come up with reasons that explain it away. You start looking for hope instead. Off clarity, you tell yourself she's just boo. You think maybe she's shy or unsure. You give her the benefit of feed out, thinking that if you stay consistent, she'll come around. That kind of thinking keeps you locked in. You're reading the situation based on whoa, you feel not what you're actualing. And that's where most guys fento. There's also ego involved. You've already invested time, energy, and maybe even emotion. Walking away would feel like giving up or admitting it didn't work out, and that's not easy. So instead of stepping back, you double down. You try harder. You wait longer. You hold on to the best parts of your interaction with her and/or everything goes. It's human towing things to work out. No one wants to that someone they care about doesn't feel the same way. But you ignore the signs the more become. You start adjusting your standards just to stay in here a bit. If you start tolerating disrespect, silence or bare minimum effort bakos, you hope it's just temporary, but deep down yauk know what's going on. And authors men miss these signs is because a lot of women don't end things directly. They didn't always say, I'm not in Toyo. Instead, they slowly pull away. They give less and less, and they levy door open just enough for you to keep hoping. It's a quiet rejection, and that makes it harder to recognize. But signs are always there. Inconsistency, the lack of effort, the emotional distance. If you've got to where you stand, that single quotes, sigh, hours, real interest, doesn't leave you confidados and leave you constantly second guessing, or waiting for things to get better. Men tend to miss these red flags because they're fused on potential. They're thinking about what could happen instead of what is happening, but potential doesn't build, connection action does. And if she's not showing up for you now, she's not waiting to do it later. Once you accept that, things become a lot clearer. You stop chasing mixed signals and start recognizing what aerial connection should actually feel like: steady, mutual, and obvious. Not confusing, no training, and definitely not what to do when you finally see it clearly. 7. What to do when you finally see it clearly. Once you realize she doesn't want you, the next move is simple, but not always easy. You walk away, not out of anger, not to prove a point. You do because time, energy, and self-respect matter. Too many men keep hanging on, hoping she change her mind. Hoping one more message or one more gesture will finally turn things around. It won't. At some point, you'll have to take responsibility for where your energy. If you've seen since she's distant, inconsistent, cold, unavailable, then staying in the situation becomes and that choice keeps you stuck. It's not her job to convince you to move in. It's on you to recognize when something isn't working and have the discipline to step back. This is where a lot of men struggle. Instead of pulling back, they hold on tight. They turn into fix-rs. They try to be more understanding, more patient, more available. And in doing that, they abandon their own standards. They forget the connection is a two-way street. If you're doing all the work, it's not a connection. It's a performance, and eventually, it burns you out. You get to wake up to how you're being treated. Stop sugarcoating it. If you'll feel like an option, it's because you care. You'll feel overlooked. You are. And if you're constantly unsure about where you stand, it's because she's not giving you anything solid to stand on. Third move isn't chasing more, stepping away and resetting your focus. That doesn't mean you become bitter or cold. It means you get clear about what you're willing to accept and what you're not. Woman who wants you will meet you with effort, consistency, and respect. Quantave to decode mixed signals or earn her attention like a reward. And here's some straight talk. Don't math about her. This is your lesson. Ask herself why you tolerate half-hearted fort. Why you kept showing up for Somi, who barely showed up for you? The answer to that will tell you more about what needs to change and youth on anything she ever says or does. Ya observe a relationship where you're a cousin without hesitation. But you only ate that when you stop settling for situations where you single quotes retolerated, let go of the woman who doesn't want you, and more importantly, stop trying to convince her otherwise. That energy, put it back into yourself. Build your confidence, your boundaries, and your clarity. You'll be surprised how messier things get when you stop chasing what's not meant for you. Summary. The signs were never hidden. You just didn't want to see them. It's what it usually comes down to. Not confusion, not mixed signals, just a refusal to accept what their actions were already telling you. When a woman doesn't want a UH house, and the longer you ignore that, the more time you waste chasing salmon, who's already made her choice. Here's some thing. A lot of men don't like to admit. Sometimes holding on is just another way of avoiding the truth. No, she's not into it. But letting go means facing yourself. And that's the most guys avoid. But once you do, everything gets clearer. You stop making excuses for someone else's behavior and you start taking your power back. If you've seen yourself in any off seasons, it's not a loss, it's a wake-up call. Learn from it. Use it to say your standards. Your energy is valuable. Give it to someone who actually wants it, not someone who just tolerates it when it's convenient. I want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in these. You ever been in this kind of situation? What signs did you endure? What help would you move on? I'll be reading through and replying because of these are the conversations that matter. Hit that like button if this gave you a thing to think about, and make sure to subscribe if ya want more stray take like this. You're in it alone. And you're not powerless. Keep your standards.